Hi, I'm Katrina, your Pilates teacher at KN Pilates. Welcome to Get Started with Pilates, your 31-day journey towards a daily Pilates practice. Today is day 30, so let's begin. Today we will start in side lying, and as always you want to have some sort of cushion as a support, and then you want to just make sure that your feet are slightly in front of you and flexed, your hips are in neutral, so nicely stacked, lifting out of the waist, just lengthening the hip connection here, and then make yourself really comfy. So maybe today, we've been doing these sort of exercises for a while now, so maybe today focus on that pressure that tends to go into the shoulder. So see if you can every now and then avoid doing that. See how that goes. So as always, ideally we have the hand on the belly button, letting our core muscles do the work rather than the arm. But if you still need a little bit of support, absolutely fine. We'll start with double leg lift variation, that one. So you breathe in on the first leg, just to hip height. Breathe out on the second leg, draw the navel in, breathe in there. Breathe out to lower down. Good. Remember the first one is always the most wobbly one, or tends to be the most wobbly one. We sort of calibrate what we're doing, and then we can take it from there. Good. So remember that shoulder you're leaning on, I just mentioned. Very often we sort of push the head down into that shoulder to try and help lift the legs, a really interesting concept. So see if you can keep the head quite relaxed, not pushing down into the arm as the leg moves up. Last two of these. Push through the heels, lengthen the legs away. Good. We then go into inner thigh lift variation, where you keep the top leg just about hip height, definitely not higher, and then breathe out to lift the lower leg. And we do about 8 of these. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good. Lower down, bend both knees. Have the feet in line with the tailbone, and then we just want to come into our climb 3 with the knees nicely stacked. Again, lifting out of the waist. There doesn't have to be space there, but we want to just keep the pelvis nicely stacked with hip connection in neutral. Breathe in to lift, out to rotate, in to come back, out to lower, back down, if in doubt, breathe. Good. 3, 4. Again, can you relax the shoulders here? 5, 6, 7, 8. We go into clown 4. Breathe in, out, in, and out. So ideally the knees stay stacked as we extend the leg away. And I think sometimes it looks like I'm sort of taking the leg further forwards. So sometimes it looks like I'm actually doing that, but I'm not actually doing that. So see if you can keep the legs quite aligned here as you extend away. And I lost count. Let's do 2 more of these. good indeed. Excellent. We come into our side bend prep, so prop yourself up onto your elbow. Have the cushion under the elbow if you need to, so that's up to you. Again, stack the shoulders, have one knee on top of the other, the feet in line with your tailbone. Having that elbow right underneath your shoulder, maybe a tiny bit further in, lifting out of that shoulder. Keep the spine nice and tall. Something that tends to happen, especially as we go through a few repetitions and we get tired and everything sort of starts to get quite tense. We sort of do that. We round the back, everything gets really small. So just be aware of that maybe, doing these today, as they're not completely new anymore. So find that nice length of the spine with the shoulders stacked. So we'll just do a few of these. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out to float up. Breathe in here. Breathe out to resist slowing down. Keep the hips stacked. Make sure not to drop the hips back behind you. Breathe in and out. Breathe in here. Lift out of that shoulder. And breathe out slowly and rather reluctantly lower back down. Breathe in. Remember your lateral breath, breathing into the ribs rather than the belly. So we keep that slight connection, a little bit more here. Good, let's do one more. Just stay here maybe for a little bit. You can look up at your hand, or you can look straight ahead, or you can look down. Whichever feels most comfortable in your neck and your shoulders. Good, one more breath. And then lower down. Good. So a fun variation to that side bend prep are side plank variation. So again, sort of working more on the prep level there. So you can try this out, see how it goes. You can continue with the side bend preps if you figure those out and you're happy with those. Very few people are happy with those, but you know what I mean. So here you extend the lower leg, really flex that foot, remember that connection. The other hand against under your shoulder as much as is possible and comfortable, lifting out of the shoulder. And the fingertips you just have to see. We'll try this and you can rearrange where the hand is placed exactly. So you might want to have the fingertips pointing right away from you or maybe a bit diagonal. Probably not all the way forward. So for me it's a bit more diagonal. The other foot is in front of you and we try to have the hips as neutral as possible. They will not stack completely. And again, this depends on how your pelvis is designed. So we'll try to come up into a side plank from here. And this will be very wobbly if you've not done this before. Just play with it, have fun with it, see what happens. And if you find this is not happening today, have a rest. So just really listen to your body, see how this goes. So you'll be absolutely fine, I'm sure. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, float up. Push through that heel, lift out that shoulder, and then draw the navel in with a happy thought, extend the leg. Good. Breathe. Place the foot back, and slowly lower down. So if you find that's too much pressure on your wrist, you can fold the cushion, have a bit of support there, and then you would have that under your wrist like this. So the wrist isn't as flexed. We'll go back into the previous version. So we are just going to try this one more time. So this is not a beginner's exercise. So if this is a little bit too far along, then let that put you off. We're just going to play with this, see where we're going. So breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, float up, draw the navel in. Good. Push through that heel. Keep the glutes really strong, legs strong, draw the navel in, and then extend. Lift out that shoulder. Breathe into the ribs. Place one foot down, and then release. Excellent. Well done. We'll go on to the other side, starting with our double leg lift variation. And there are so many different, planks we can do. And we've done quite a few other ones in the last couple of days and weeks. And so, we tend to prefer some to others. Flex the feet, have the legs a bit in front of you, lift out of the waist, stack the shoulders, lengthen your hip connection on this side to even things out. Make sure the ribs are in, and have your hand, ideally, if possible, on your belly button. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. So about 8 of these. So as I said before, we want to just notice whether we put a lot of pressure onto that supporting arm there. And if we do, we try not to. Yeah. And the trick with the lower leg is to really think about the inner thigh, much more than the feet. It doesn't really matter whether the feet come together or not. Think more about the inner thighs. Good. Push through the heels. Last few. Good. Okay, we then go into the inner thigh lift variation, lifting the top leg up to hip height and keep the leg there, and then lift the lower leg. Again, focus on the inner thigh lifting and the navel drawing a bit more on the effort. Again, relax the pressure on that. I think we've got 2 more to go. Very good. Lower down, bend both knees, have the feet in line with your tailbone, one knee on top of the other, lifting out of the waist. Here you can have the hand on the floor, but try to keep the shoulders open. Breathe in and out, and in and out. Keeping the pelvis still here. Just allowing the leg to rotate in that hip. If not, breathe with these ones. But very often just sort of getting used to a breathing pattern, just being aware of our breath, can really help with our progression over time. Good. Let's do one more. And then we go into a clam variation 4. Breathe in, out, in, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Excellent. Come onto your elbow for your side bend prep. And have your cushion under the elbow. Align the hips. Have one foot on top of the other. Have one knee on top of the other. Lengthen that spine. Remember not to allow everything to sort of curl in. Lifting out of the supporting shoulder. Good. And then we go into side bends Yeah. So as I said last time, I think we did this, where we want to avoid letting the hips rotate back and forth, really thinking about keeping them stacked. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, load up. Breathe in here. Breathe out, lower down. Try to enjoy these. Yeah, so if these feel okay, you can just hover instead of letting the hips come back all the way back down to the floor. So we nearly lowering all the way down, but just keep that slight tension before going back up. Lower down. I know we had one. We stay up. Let's stay here then. Lift out the shoulder, draw the navel in, use your lateral breath, have a happy thought. Yay! And then we lower down. Good. Also keen getting into the next exercise. So now you know what's coming. Yeah. You can try this on the other side. It might be different. Usually these exercises are different from side to side. So for your setup, you want to make sure you can extend the leg fully, flex that foot, have the other foot in front of you, and the hand as close as comfortable. Yeah, this one here. As I said, my fingertips point to the corner of the mat, so see what's the most comfortable for you in your shoulder and your wrist. And then we will stack the hips as much as possible. And that's just in preparation for our balance, because we can balance the best when we are all in line. Yeah, otherwise, obviously, the weight will pull us backwards or forwards. So that's why we try to have that awareness of bringing the hips into near neutral, so they're already as aligned as possible. Yeah. So let's do this. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, float up. Push through that supporting foot. Yeah. Draw the navel in, lift out the shoulder. Breathe in and out. Good. Breathe in here. And then lower back down, one foot. And with control, lower back down. Have a rest. Maybe reset. And then go again. Once you're ready. Yeah. So really listen to your body. As I said earlier, if this isn't quite happening today, don't force anything. We're so close to the end of the series. Yeah, let's enjoy these last few days. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, float up. Breathe in here. Breathe out. Flex the feet. Lift out that shoulder. Draw the navel in. Smile. Lower down. And release. Excellent. Good. And again, give the wrist a twirl. We will come into prone. So we're just going to go into our swimming variation we were doing a few days ago, I think. So come on to your front. Again, as always, half a cushion to just make space for the nose. For the swimming variation, we go into the faster leg lift. So you leg lifts 2, and then we add the back extension to this, and we've done this before. So as always, you're very welcome to do another variation, to just do the leg lifts or just do the back extensions. Yeah. So we relax the head down onto the cushion, arms by your sides. Start with the legs, lift them up, and then lift the body, and lower back down. Breathe in, and out. Keep the neck nice and long. Draw the navel in, just a little bit connection there. last few. Yeah, stop and rest if you need to. Good. Relax. As always, just release the lower back. Use your arms and your center to push yourself away, either into cat stretch or child's pose, whichever you prefer. So you're here doing a cat stretch, or you can sit back, hips to heels for your child's pose. One more breath. Good. And then we come just into sitting. If kneeling is comfy, whichever other sitting position is comfortable for you. Yeah. And then just bring the hands back, send the heart forwards. Take a nice deep breath in, and then round. Stretch up. Let the arms drop. And we're done.